He's back. The planner. This noise is ongoing for the last hour or so. We have negative 12 amps outside. Yeah, look at this mush weather here. Again, it's a bit rainy, just without the rain. It's not too much sun coming in today, but I guess it cannot be sunny every single day, right? Not even here in sunny, hot Australia. Guys, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage yeah, you have seen it. And in today's video, my friends, we want to talk about our all-time favorite topic. Compressing or not compressing your cells. No? No? A-grade automotive certified cells versus B-grade cells. No? Do-it-yourself batteries versus pre-assembled batteries. No, you don't like this either. Okay, how about balancing? Yeah? Everyone likes a good balance. And after my last video about balancing, where I explained when to start balancing your battery packs, which was a bit controversial because many people didn't quite understand what I'm actually trying to do here. They didn't read the description of the video either. And while there will be a part 2 of this video where I go into the rabbit hole, this here is not the video about it. A while back, Heltec was so kind to send over some of their equipment for balancing lithium iron phosphate batteries. And while we have in-depth explored some of them in the past video already, I want to briefly show them here in the video again, because these are all devices you're not seeing much out there. Because most people use these capacitive active balancers and are happy with them because they just work. But today we've got something more than these ones. And I already have prepared our test setup. So we got the good old Palo batteries out of the box, connected in a 4S configuration, 12 volt battery. I have also connected the 100 amp DALI BMS, but this is mainly for displaying the single cell voltages in one screen and also show us the voltage difference across the whole pack. And here on the other side I have already connected a balancer port, so we can plug in different balancers and see how they work. I have also connected the adjustable power supply to our cell number 1 only. So here I can charge only this first cell and can create an imbalance in our battery bank. And here on the right I have our light bulbs ready to go. I can quickly connect 2 of them to discharge our whole battery pack, because we may have to charge and discharge these batteries a bit here to test different voltages. So, and first of all, we have one of, come on here, come on. One of these guys here, which we already know, but this is a very special edition here. Let me quickly connect it and I'll show you. See, there's no light. It's not turning on. Usually these capacitive balancers here, they run all the time. As soon as you connect them, you got the yellow light and it doesn't turn off until you really discharge your battery going under 2.7 volts around. Then they actually turn off. But here we have, let me quickly connect to the DALI BMS. So here we have all 4 battery cells, cell number 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we've got a deviation of 5 millivolt only here in the whole pack. And all these cells are at 3.32 volts around. So I can only charge cell number 1 here and create an imbalance. I will do that. So charging with 1 amp. And we can now see the deviation is rising. So 35 millivolt deviation, but still no activity on the balancer. Yeah, and I'm only charging cell number 1, 3.35 volts. So we are now over 3.4 volts with our cell number 1, and there's still no activity on this balancer. It still hasn't turned on. 3.43, 3.435. There it comes on. At 3.437 around. And now it is balancing. So we've got a deviation of 100 millivolt now. And you can see it goes down already. If we measure cell number 1, we can see a balance current of around 700 milliamps now, coming out of number 1 and going into the other batteries. So I'm going to turn off the charger now. Deviation is going down fast, voltage is going down fast. And let me quickly turn on the light bulbs here. Alright, I think it is turned off now. And it takes about a minute or so until the light actually turns off. See how dimmed it is already? You can barely see it anymore. So this balancer is a very special edition here from Heltec because it has a higher turn-on voltage than all the other ones they usually sell. And they say it is about 3.3 volts times 1.05, which is around 3.465 volts. So we have seen it turning on at 3.4 something. Well, we've got a 2% error here in this formula with this trigger. And the balancer stops at around 3.3 volts with a 2% voltage error again. Yeah, we can see the light is definitely... Oh no, it's still very dim. There's no balance current anymore. But the light is still there. Look at this. It probably takes 5 minutes until it turns off. And as you may remember, we have tested this active balancer here already on the channel. This was the one Paul sent to me months ago, and he's using these ones here for his batteries because they prevent the balancer from running all the time. And there's no external electronic necessary, nothing. It just turns on at around 3.4 volts and turns off at 3.3 volts again. So it really only balances in the top area of your charge curve. And this is exactly what we want from a balancer. So, and in the next quick test, we want to change the power supply from our battery number 1 to battery number 4. Just connect it here. So it is charging cell number 4 now. And we turn this one back on. Charging to 3.6 volts. Go a bit higher. 3.65. And charging with 2 amps. So we are now at 3.445 volts with our cell number 4, and there's still no balance action. So we've got a higher voltage in cell number 4 than we had in cell number 1 before, and this one turned on, while this one doesn't seem to trigger the balancer. So, and we are now at 3.51 volts with our cell number 4, and as you can see, there's still no balance action, nothing. And this is exactly the limitation of this modified balancer here. We have discovered this already in the first video we did specifically about this balancer. And it is no secret, but it may be new for some of you, but all these active capacitive balancers, they only use cell number 1 for activation and deactivation. Usually these balancers run all the time, and only if you discharge your battery down to 2.7 volts, they will turn off. But if this is not cell number 1, it won't detect it and keeps balancing and discharging your battery. So I don't think it is a big problem that they are only measuring cell number 1, because with such a balancer, your battery pack should be fairly balanced anyway. So there we go, we are 3.6 volts and still no balance action as expected. And also the start voltage and the end voltage of this modified balancer is actually quite okayish. So starting at 3.46 volts with the balance process and then stopping at 3.3 volts again. 3.3 seems a bit low at the beginning, but when you are going to discharge your battery cells will go under 3.3 volts very quickly. I've also asked Heltec if they make these balancers now with 8S and 16S configuration as well, so we can use them with all kind of batteries without any need of worry that we are imbalancing our battery pack because the balancer is running all the time. So if they make these ones here at 4S, 8S and 16S as well, this would be actually a viable solution for all our problems. You can just install one of these balancers here and you are set. But I haven't heard back from them yet, so hopefully until this video published here, I've got an answer from them. And the next balancer we want to check out is the 4S 10 amp balancer Heltec has sent me. And this is also something we have looked into comprehensively in a previous video. That's how it looks like. It comes in a plastic case. But in the other video we have also had a look inside. So here we can see the transformer. And here we can say cell number 1, 2, 3 and 4, positive, negative, going onto this, wow, transformer. Here we go. A couple of MOSFETs down here, some control circuits, capacitors, and luckily they're all using the same port. So there's an on-off switch here on the side. Blue means it is working now. And let's charge our cell number 1 again. Well, the main difference here with this balancer is that this one runs all the time. As soon as you flick the switch here, it turns on and it keeps balancing forever. So this one claims to balance with 1.5 amps per 100 millivolt deviation. And we have already 129 millivolt. So in theory, measuring cell number 1 balance current, we should see, a bit over 1 amp. It should be 1.5. But if you remember in this video where we tested this balancer here, we could also not verify the 10 amps at all. I had 4 280 ampere hour batteries here in series and had discharged only one of them completely and the other 3 were completely full. And I was expecting the balancer is actually pulling a lot of current from these 3 full cells and push them into this one empty cell with a maximum deviation of over 600 millivolt we could achieve. No, it wasn't. It was like 4.5, 4.6 amps we could measure, and that was it. That was the maximum we could measure. So in fact, it wasn't more efficient than one of these ones. Same current as these ones, but they were like 60% cheaper or so. We've got now 200 millivolt deviation, 1.6 amps, 2 amps now, and I'll quickly disconnect this balancer, plug in one of the normal ones, just as a comparison, and we can see here as well close to 2 amps of balance current now. So there's not much difference at all. 1.7, 1.8, 1.9. There, 2 amps. We've reached 3.6 volts now, and 1.5 amps here with this balancer now. So at the point of testing this balancer, I couldn't really see a big benefit of using this inductive or transformer balancer in comparison with the capacitive balancers, and it is still the case. I don't know why this one is marked as a 10 amp balancer. Maybe if you have 2 empty cells and 2 full cells, it pushes 10 amps across all these cells then, 2.5 amps per cell, or it charges both empty cells with 5 amps from the full ones. I don't know. But these are scenarios which will never occur. Nobody has got 2 100% fully charged cells and 2 0% charged cells in a series connection in a 12 volt battery, and then connects such a balancer just to measure 10 amps. For me, it's a bit of a marketing trick. And with this one, it doesn't really matter which cell of your pack is the high voltage cell. It starts balancing anyway, and it keeps balancing until let me quickly verify. So I don't know. The 10 amp balancer, which is actually only a 5 amp balancer. And then we have this interesting looking guy here. So this is another transformer based active balancer. It's a 4S balancer. And this is pretty much very similar to what this one looks inside. We've got 4 capacitors here, 1 for each channel. And we have this ring transformer in the middle. And you probably can see the different colors of these coils here. Yeah, this is like a copper, this is red, this is copper, this is red again. So we've got one bunch of coils for each battery cell. And how this roughly works is each battery cell has their own transformer coil. And the higher your battery voltage is, the higher the voltage in the transformer. And obviously under this heatsink there are a bunch of MOSFET transistors. And I guess they are switching on and off these transformer coils here to create a certain induction. and then energy is being transferred from a higher voltage to a lower voltage coil. Now you can see there's nothing else on this board. We've got an on-off switch and the selector for your cell types on the other side. Interesting with this one here is it has an RS485 connector at the back. So when we connect this one here and turn it on, we will have a green solid light. That means it is balancing right now. 77 millivolt deviation we have. And cell number 1 is being balanced with 1.1 amps at 100 millivolt deviation. That's not too bad, right? So here we can see in 2 amps, 2.2 amps at 215 millivolt deviation. I'll turn this one off quickly and connect the other balancer again. This is a bit lower actually, 1.8 amps only for the capacitive balancer. So this one is a bit more efficient. Okay, let's try this one again. Oh yeah, 2.7, 2.8 amps. Look at this, not bad, not bad. And because it has an RS485 at the end here, we can connect certain things to it, like this display, for example. Plugs in here, it becomes alive. So it gives you the overall voltage of your pack and all the cell voltage. Oh, can you actually see that? And then it turns off after 20 seconds or so. Press the button, it activates again. Press again, turns off. With the switches here at the back, switch number 1, you can select which way around your display works. See, there's now the other way around. You've got the button on the left. It seems more like a gimmick to me to make this actually possible. I mean, what's the difference? Having the switch on the left or on the right, you know? There, turns off again. So this is one possibility to connect to this active balancer. The alternative would be to connect a Bluetooth module to the RS485 connector here of this balancer. And then you have, I guess, the same display on your mobile phone, which gives you cell voltage and pack voltage as well. Why would you use that? Well, it depends where you install this active balancer. If you put this one into a battery box, such a display could be handy. You press the button and it gives you the overview about everything. So you don't need to pull out your mobile phone and connect to the app and make sure your Bluetooth is connected and all this kind of shit. This one, press a button, works. Gives you all the information. Done. But the Bluetooth module would be better if you install your battery in an RV, for example, or in a boat where it is not really accessible. And you don't want to go into this compartment and press the button all the time just to read your voltages. And so that's where the Bluetooth module comes in handy. Because you're up on the deck, cruising along next to the beach, and you pull out your mobile phone and check on your battery. Very quickly, very convenient. So there you have both options. And with this balancer as well, we have a low voltage disconnect at 2.7 volts. Or if you select LTO battery cells, it goes down to 1.8 volts. Then the balancer goes to sleep, protects your battery from under discharging. And then they also sent me this active balancer here with the same transformer principle. This one is the BT04S 10 amps. Well, this one is only a 5.5 amps, but it looks very much the same as this one. So there's no difference at all, except of the RS485, which is not there. This is only a 3-pin connector here at the end, and I'm not 100% sure what we can do with this one. Apart from that, it looks very similar. Well, we can only find out if we plug this one in. On. 2.4 amps. Is this a bit higher than the other one? 2.1. Let's try again. No, it's 100% the same. No difference here. Then this balancer came also with a display, but this display looks very similar to the one we have tested with this balancer, but it has a different connector. So this one plugs in here. And then on the other end, well, there's nothing. And I thought I need to somehow solder these cables here to these pins up here on the PCB there. But that's not the case. So apparently this is just a standalone display you can buy from Heltec as well, which then connects to your 4S battery. and gives you pretty much the same information as we have just seen on the other display. So all the cell voltages and the main pack voltage. So apparently this display has nothing to do with any of these balancers and can be used with anything. So there you have it, the whole variety of active balancers Heltec has sent over. I wasn't expecting any breakthroughs with these balancers here because we have tested some of them already, and these ones don't seem to be... they don't bring anything new to the table except of this one balancer which has an RS485 connector, and we can connect a Bluetooth and an app to it, but just to monitor the cell and pack voltage. And I don't know why they are developing a standalone display. You can connect it to this balancer here as well and monitor your cell voltages. I get it from a pure monitoring perspective, but it has basically nothing to do with these balancers. So anyway guys, I'll link these two videos where we have tested the capacitive balancer as well as the 10 amp balancer in all details. I'll link them down below under this video here, you can have a look. The links to all these products are under the video as well. And I hope I will hear back from Heltec about this balancer if they make a 8S and 16S version as well. So all of these wonderful and beautiful transformer and capacitive active balancers here are fully dependent on the voltage delta in your battery pack. The more difference your cells have, the higher the balance current will be. So only the 4 amp Bluetooth active balancer from Heltec will actually balance with 4 amps all the time, regardless the voltage difference. But the downside is there. It balances only one cell at a time with 4 amps, either charging or discharging it. While all these ones here, they balance all the cells at the same time. And as you can imagine, both has advantages and disadvantages. Okay guys, so far this video from today, I just wanted to show you these devices. No breakthroughs in balancing technology. Because they sent me these devices a while back, it's only fair to show them here on the channel so you guys know what they're actually doing, how they work, and what the features and functions are. But they have also sent something else here in this big box here, which I want to show you as well. It'll come in one of the next videos, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here. Thanks to all these wonderful people who have donated to the channel here, buying me a beer. Thank you very much. And until the next video, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye-bye. That could be the thumbnail here.